Okay, so we have invited Matthias over from Berlin, who's a good friend. We've known each other for a long time, and Matthias brought to my attention Desiknio about 2 years ago. We've been selling it over here in the UK now for a year, and it's this whole kind of facade around lightweight, cool urban e-bikes is really starting to take off. I guess it was Kobok originally who were one of the first people to market with it. And there's been a couple of other companies, Orbea, Ampler, but the one that has really got our attention, that is the most exciting, is Desiknio. So we've got up here, we've got single speed, urban. I guess that's probably not the most popular though. For you in Berlin, where it's really taken off, it's been mainly the Pinion, isn't it?
Well, I believe for the urban environment like London, Berlin, big cities, flat cities, single speed is fantastic. It's a great bike because it's super lightweight, 12 kilos, super simple. You can carry it up to your flats. You take it with you however you want, and it rides fantastically. You have a belt drive. It's belt driven, so it means there's no grease, no dirt, nothing. It's very it's just very convenient. But actually, if you have one of the main things the Desiknio can do is to have a very clean design with a belt drive and then integrated the pinion gearbox, and this is something very special. It's super unique. Desiknio holds a patent on that.
So they've got a patent on pinion e-bike belt drive? Or?
No, they have a patent on the integration of the down tube battery in combination with the pinion and the belt. Yeah, and this combination is there's the only company allowed to use it. Yeah.
So they're not allowing anyone else to use it. So
well, we are discussing with other brands to open it up, but for now it's the first brand to do it, and it's the first one and the only one you can have it for the moment. Yes, that's right. Cool. So and in Berlin actually we thought the single speed like it's here it's gonna be our strongest seller, but actually it was a pinion one because it's so unique. And what happens is with this bike you have a very sleek bike, very lightweight. With a pinion it's only 14.8 kilos. So it's underneath 15 kilos. Most other competitors are above 15 kilos, even without gears. So it's absolutely out of competition, and most people do want to not only ride it in the cities, they want to go on gravel rides with it, they want to take it on holidays, they want to go onto the mountains, they want to have different use with it, and so it
just opens that up.
Yeah, the pinion opens it up.
And I think that's a really good point about e-bikes in general, is like when someone buys an e-bike from us, they don't realise the level that they're going to use it, and they're going to use it for more stuff than they ever thought they would, for exploring, for going over that hill they've never bothered to go over before, and you never know what you might find. So having the pinion does kind of future-proof you a little bit for more adventures, which is really cool.
And also makes a bike multi-purpose. You're not only going to work with the bike. You take it for a weekend spin. You even take your luggage, put a rack on the bike, and you go for a longer ride, or you take it on holidays.
So the pinion system was originally started from downhill mountain biking, because people wanted the centre of gravity very low, and they wanted a really robust system that they could absolutely hammer. That was really cool tech, but it wasn't that popular when it came out because it offered a tiny bit of drag. And now, obviously, Desiknio have innovated it into urban e-bikes, and it's super cool, and it's very low maintenance. It has, after 15,000 miles you need to drain the oil?
Yeah, about 10,000 miles or once a year, but it takes you like 15 minutes and it's done, job done. It's absolutely unbreakable. It's you can ride it for 400,000 kilometers and it will still, I mean, you will never reach it to break it. It's super robust, and also the range it offers is like 600%. I mean, you can go from a 6 gear in an e-bike. It's it's not necessary to go for 18 gears. It's a 6 gear, 9 gear, 12 gear. The 12 gear offers you 600% of range. So gear ratio, which is amazing, which is absolutely unbelievable. So if you compare it to a Shimano SLX, it covers more than that. So it's.
I mean, the thing I like about it is you can have a geared bike with a belt drive. I'm a huge fan of belt drive. Super clean, easy, tidy.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're keeping the bike in your apartment. If you love it, it's like a piece of art. You don't get like, as you were saying before, you get these like kind of grease from your,
Yeah, you don't
your
get
chain and stuff like that. And it's silent. It's like it almost feels a bit more torquey as well when you're riding it. It's got a bit more kind of stretch to it.
Well, yeah, but you know, I mean, through the electric motor in the hub, which works straight on the street, straight where you need the power, and then you can adjust the gears how you want. You are always riding in the right gear. You can always swap to the right gear, so you can go from the 6 gears to the first in one go, straight through, and you can set the gears whilst you're riding, whilst you're under pressure, so it's not a problem at all.
And you can have, I mean, we mainly sell the 6 in London, but I guess in Berlin probably the same. But if you
it's absolutely enough. Yeah.
The Alps, you might want the 9.
Then you take the 9 or even the 12, but with the 9 one you can cover all terrains. You can go super steep hills, uphill or downhill. You can go very, very fast. You can reach 60, 70 kilometers by hours and still working in a good ratio.
Would you say that if you're going for the speed version where the markets allow it, you would recommend going for the 9 to have a bit more range in the?
No, not for a flat terrain like London or you don't really need to. Yeah. It's something if you want to keep the option open, so you take it on holidays, you take it into the mountains, or you even go on gravel roads or so, you know, and you want to be super flexible if you go over stones and so on. So
because you really can use it for kind of touring, grand tours and stuff as well.
Yeah. So it's absolutely it's a real multi-purpose vehicle actually. You know, it's an MPV. You know, it's not only sleek and lightweight. It's also very, very robust.
So we have some Desiknio questions here. First of all, what is the correct pronunciation for Desiknio?
I have to say the name is a bit difficult. So it's Desiknio.
One question we get asked all the time is what separates Desiknio from brands such as Coburg, Ampler and Orbea?
Well, the bike is just a very custom-made bike. It's built in Europe, it's built in Spain, with a lot of attention to detail. The guys building up these bikes are doing, every bike is done on demand. There's no production on stock. And
real care goes into it. I mean, I've met Joachim, the founder, and it's kind of like a family-run business.
It's a family-run business. That's right.
They're just absolute perfectionists to like the next level, and it's just it really comes across. And one thing that I've noticed is the way that all of the kind of drive unit, battery, controller, and the interface all marries up through eBike Motion. So that is such a massive point, rather than having kind of a controller from here and this there and just trying to get it all out. And I think that's what some companies did, because they saw the market growing so fast, they wanted to get to market quickly. Desiknio took a little bit longer. I mean, it was like 5 years ago that Joachim started.
And we only brought the bike on the market last year when it was really ready to go. The system was stable and really well done. And so first of all, the technology of the bikes, the technology, the system is all from one hand. This is one of the main key points which sets it completely apart from Ampler, Coburg, however, whatever name there is.
So Orbea are using the same technology as well.
Orbea is using the same technology. But on top of the system, there is a uniqueness of the integration of the pinion gearbox with belt drives. This is also something neither Orbea, not Coburg, Ampler, they cannot do, because it's the rides are with Desiknio, and it just works fantastically together. the complete design of the bike is very special. It's very special made tubings for the bikes. It's not just from the shelf. Quality of the frame building is second to none. Attention to details. When if you're looking at the dropout, all CNC milled dropouts completely. One block. Yeah. By riding the Desiknio, you do feel the attention to detail in every step you do.
Rigidity, like the smoothness, the fact that the motor and battery only run to 60% of its capability as well, which obviously helps with longevity and smoothness and eliminates any potential problems. I think that some of the other brands that have geared them up very high are experiencing kind of some technical issues, overheating.
Yeah, it's also not so smooth riding feeling and so on. So also when you reach the maximum of 25-28 kilometers an hour, you don't ride against the rubber wall. It's very smooth. It's just shaking very. You pass over super smooth. You don't even really realize it.
So the battery and motor on Desiknios are less powerful than Bosch e-bikes, but have less torque. I am concerned about the low-end ability of the bike for hill climbing and overall range.
Well, the overall range you can reach easily by the second battery, like the bottle battery, which gives you 500 watt hours like the Bosch battery. Yeah. Then you have a very light bike. The bike is mostly lighter than every Bosch bike, at least 5 kilos, even 10 kilos. Yeah. So you have even a higher range because it's more lightweight. And the hill climbing you can sort out by using the pinion gearbox. Yeah. With the pinion gearbox you can
get so much range.
You get so much range. It's not a problem at all.
Great. Okay. People using the customization tool on the Desiknio customizer have got a couple of questions. What's the difference between the gates CDN and CDX, and what's the lifespan?
Here we have a gate CDN. The CDN is entry level belt, and the CDX is a top level belt. So the CDN, I would say about 10,000 to 20,000 kilometers, and the CDX from 20,000 up. So it just lasts longer, is stronger.
So that's 75 pounds in difference.
Yeah, and also the CDX is more appropriate if you do a lot of gravel, a lot of stony streets. Yeah, it's much tougher.
A blue tint to it as well.
It can have. It can be completely black. It can be red. It can be with blue. Yeah, and you can actually even choose it in the customizer. You can choose a red belt. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so just to run through a recap on the models. Basically, this is the single speed, which comes in urban, which is this finish, which is matte with anodized black, and these are 3,500. And basically, you can have this in a classic, which is gloss with polished aluminium finishes and leather saddles and leather grips. And basically, that's the differences. So it's 3.5 grand for either classic finish or the urban finish. But then you can have the pinion system, which is from 4,500. And that comes in the 6-speed, and then I think it's £300 extra for the 9.
Yes, and 500 extra
for the 12. But then there is one new model, which is the 11S, which is the most lightweight. It comes with an 11-speed SLX gearing system, which is 3,799. And basically, that's the kind of most lightweight, sporty version out of all of them. And that comes in urban and classic. But then
also has a gravel version with
gravel version with dropper bars, which is 4,100. But then so just yesterday, Desiknio have produced their first step-through version, which is a low step, which basically comes down to here, and that's a no-cost option in all of the models, and that basically covers everything.